I've got one pair of jeans and I wear them every day, and I wash them twice a year.
Well, they say we overwash jeans.
Well, I don't. I don't overwash. There's no way. Also, what does that mean, overwash them? What could happen? What could possibly happen? They get tight. No, don't wash them. Leave them dirty.
You fuck it up. You're gonna fuck it all up.
You're washing these way too much.
No, I guess they don't last as long or whatever, but that's the thing with everything.
Well, nothing lasts long anymore. You get jeans. They used to be made out of denim. Now they're made out of, who knows what these are made out of.
I got a pair of jeans for Christmas. This past Christmas.
Oh, this recent Christmas.
Yes, Christmas 2023. Not 2 weeks ago, really. Probably.
Oh, that was a whole year ago.
That it was, my friend. But I got them. Now I have trouble getting jeans because I wouldn't say I'm extremely tall, but I'm on the taller side, and I'm lanky. You know, skinny.
Well, you
they
seem
don't
like
make
more of a slim fit.
I need a slim fit, a boot cut slim fit.
Are these a boot cut slim fit, or are these a boot cut skinny?
No, I don't wear skinny.
I can't tell the difference. They look like the same.
Yeah. Well, my legs. I have skinny legs. But anyway, I can't find pants that are my size. They only make pants for big fat fucks.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah.
I got all kinds of options when I go in there.
So my mom got me these pants, and they're stretchy.
I hate that.
Oh, I hate it.
It drives me crazy.
You got to take these back. I immediately got them out of the box.
Mom, you're wrong again.
I go, you fucked up.
You fucked up big time, Mom. These are no good. I did the same thing. We do it to our mom every year. Because you know what my mom does for me and my brothers every year? She somehow locked into the year 2011 when we were all wearing plaid shirts. Because that was a thing back then.
Yeah.
And so she gets us to these like giant fucking awful thick checkered plaid shirts every year.
Yeah.
We throw them over our shoulders into the pile and make her take them right the fuck back. We go, Mom, first thing tomorrow morning. First thing at 6 a.m.
December 26th. You're getting in the van, you're taking these back.
Yeah. December 26th. Set a fucking alarm because go back to the Gap, get some store credit. Before that, she just thought we liked what we liked when we were 9 years old.
Sure.
And it took her until we were in our 20s for her to reset.
Yeah.
And then now she has not reset again. So, but she's slowly learning her lesson.
Yeah, see, I don't have that problem because I still dress
the same that you did back then.
Yeah.
Well, 2011. I mean, I had a plaid shirt on. I had a banjo. I was in Mumford & Sons. So I was in the back of a train.
I never got into the plaid shirt or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I had a big IPA in my hand and a plaid shirt on, and an out-of-tune banjo in my room. They called me the Little Lion Man. They said, "Weep for yourself, my man."
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Old Joe, the Little Lion Man.
Yep.
Wow. Well, we hope all our loyal listeners had a great Christmas, great New Year. It's the beginning of the first episode of the new year.
Yeah, and I think we're going to turn a new leaf for this new year.
I believe, a new leaf.
We're going to ramp these
year.
episodes way up.
New year, new us.
We're making a new camera, and
we're discussing about getting maybe 2 cameras.
Things are going to change.
Dual shot.
We got the map last year.
We got the map. We got the chairs. We got the table.
We also started the podcast last year.
That was just the beginning.
That was just the beginning. Things are going to be big from now on.
New year, new us.
But the podcast has not changed in its core, which is, of course, a podcast, the only podcast where 2 comedians read the Wall Street Journal because one of us gets it for free from work.
Exactly, my friend. And we'll give the listeners a little rundown of what they can expect with our stories today. I'll start us off now. Do you want to trade off? I'll go first, then you go.
Sure, yeah, let's do that.
Well, Joe, do you wear socks to bed?
No, I don't do that.
Well, many people don't, but there could be some health benefits to wearing socks to sleep.
Oh, not if I can never fucking go to sleep. My eyes would be wide open. I gotta get these socks off me. Well, Trent, there is a bit of a soap opera facing cancellation. Not the kind you see on TV, but one panning out at a national park involving wild horses.
Couldn't drag me away.
That's right. They're trying to throw it all away.
Wow.
And for what? We'll find out.
Well, Joe, New Mexico, they're testing high school wastewater to see what drugs the kids are on.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
They're on something,
Yeah.
clearly, right?
Yeah, they're gauging opioid use by testing the wastewater. We'll discuss that.
Well, the government might be cracking down on the kids in New Mexico, but where they're really struggling is in China, where we can't keep a single fucking spy in the cabinet to save our lives.
Oh, no.
We don't know what's going on over there.
Wow.
We don't know what's going on.
The spies, much like pretty much anyone that does their job now, not very good.
No,
Wow.
especially there. I mean, we got them everywhere else, but we just can't get a foothold over there.
Oh, wow. Have they considered maybe like a hot air balloon or something?
Well, maybe we'll get to
Take
that.
it. Oh, all right.
No, they actually didn't
well,
mention that.
fuck it. And there was a hot new Christmas list item sweeping the nation this year, Joe. Dog beds for humans.
Oh my God! Well, in our nation's capital, Washington D.C., Trent, for our final story.
Yes. Greatest nation in the world.
There's no dog beds for deer because what's happening is they're putting bullets in their head in the middle of the night.
What, they're shooting deer?
Oh, they're cracking down on deer.
Oh God!
And it's been going on for a decade. It's under the cover of darkness.
Wow!
With silencers.
Jesus Christ! What a nightmare.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, should I start?
Yeah, you want
off?
to kick us off?
Yeah, as I cough directly into the microphone. Well, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, okay.
In our first story from 2024.
Wow.
Headline: Is wearing socks to bed healthier or just psychopathic?
Well, you know where I stand on this.
I kind of feel the same way. Covering the Tootsies might help us catch Z's,
Jesus Christ.
but many call the idea a nightmare. Before going to sleep in a hotel room he shared with his brother recently, Matthew Johnson slipped wool socks over his feet. He did what? That's what it says in the article here.
Did his brother report him to the Wall Street Journal?
Quote, my brother saw me putting on socks and he was like, that's crazy. You're a crazy person, says Johnson, who is a senior at George Mason University in Virginia.
Oh, he's a child. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
give it a few years.
Take him off. Take him off.
Take him off. Come on. A growing understanding of the importance of sleep for health and lifespan has made slumber hacks and gadgets all the buzz, including the increasingly common advice to sleep with socks.
Huh.
But an undercover, no pun intended, inquiry by the Wall Street Journal finds that socks in bed is dividing couples in the public square. Opponents physically recoil at the notion and say people who snooze in socks can't be trusted. Quote, that's just psychopathic behavior right there, wearing socks to bed, says Sean McMahon, a 32-year-old retail worker in Deltona, Florida, who called a former roommate weird for doing so. He recalls once watching a murder mystery movie where a character wearing socks to sleep was the killer.
Okay.
In Virginia, Johnson wasn't always a socker. He wore them.
It's crazy this is journalism, by the way. This passes for journalism.
This is very important.
This is wild. They sent people to look into this.
Yeah, and they interviewed multiple people.
And they all go, yeah, my wife's fucking crazy.
Yeah, she's a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
She wears socks.
Well, let's hear what the pro sock people have to say.
Well, this guy, he wasn't always, he didn't always wear them, but he wore them. A pair of generic Walmart socks to sleep for the first time after reading about the benefits. The first night, it feels like you've put your feet into jail, he says.
Yeah.
Your feet are like, get me out of here. But he woke feeling more rested. So now, Johnson has a few pairs of boot-length wool socks that he specifically wears to sleep. After his nightly shower, he kicks the air conditioner in his room to about 65 degrees, puts on socks, and drifts off. Quote, there's something primal about it, he says.
No, there's not.
It triggers that response in your brain of like, I'm a caveman sleeping in a cave right now. I am safe. time to go to bed. You know all those cavemen.
There were wool socks.
Wore socks.
Crank the AC down to 65. Put on wool socks.
Yeah, this is how comfortable we've gotten. We think I'm gonna put on socks. I'm gonna feel like a caveman. That's what the cavemen do.
Yeah,
I gotta feel like a man.
Sort of primal.
Yeah, it's just primal. with my AC.
That's why I get my HelloFresh boxes too. There's something primal about.
Yeah, getting food delivered to your door.
I feel like I killed my own dinner. I put on my woolen socks with snow globes printed on them. See, I think this guy was the first guy. At least was young, because the way I see it, socks are like condoms. When you're young, you wear like 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah, you wear 2 or 3 at a time.
By the time you're in college, you pull that sucker off,
but
then you start pulling out, and then eventually you just stay in.
Yeah,
no condom.
Yeah,
that's how I do it with my feet.
That's what I do. That's what I do. When I was young, I wore 2, 3 condoms.
Yeah,
never had any trouble fitting them all on. And then I started when I was, getting older. I wore a condom, and much like a sock. I would wear them at first when I got them, and then I would quietly slip them off. No.
It's all in good fun here. Yeah. We'll never do that.
A study published in the Journal of Physiological Anthropology found that young men fell asleep 7.5 minutes faster, slept 32 minutes longer, and woke up 7.5 times less often than those not wearing socks.
Out of how many people did they were used in this study?
About 3 or 4.
Yeah, they 12 guys. That just seems circumstantial.
Yeah. Statistics and footnotes on the topic are limited, though. One small survey suggested 63% of us don't sleep with socks on, 25% sometimes do, and nearly 12% regularly do. The informal study on our Reddit forum generated comments such as, "I sleep with socks when I'm too drunk to take them off. And honestly, waking up with socks on is worse than the hangover." Now, did you take your socks off last night?
Who knows? I had no idea. I took my shirt off. I know that much.
Took your shirt off. We all saw that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I could have gotten much better sleep myself.
That's kind of all.
Yeah, that's the whole story, huh?
Yeah. Some people like it. Some people say it's good. Some people say it's bad. That's kind of the gist.
Maybe I'll give it a shot.
I was thinking about trying it out.
Now, do you ever sleep naked?
I have before, yeah, but
sure.
That freaks me out because what if there's I always think if there's a fire or something. Then
you gotta stumble around and find your underwear.
Yeah, or you can't. You panic. You jump out the window and then you're naked out in the street.
In the summer when it's hot, sometimes I'll sleep naked.
Yeah,
but I was doing it last summer and I feel like I must have just, your balls are dangling. There's no support for your balls, so they're all over the place.
Yeah,
and I think I must have pulled my ball or something. It was I was sore for a couple days.
Oh, really?
I put my underwear back on, straightened itself out.
Wow. Yeah, that's
God,
scary.
I was worried.
There's so much that can go wrong.
There's a lot that can go wrong.
Yeah, you can get fucking cum and piss and shit all over that place.
Yeah, someone else's. Who knows? Someone could break in and cum on you. Yeah, on your balls. It'd be a nightmare. Well, speaking of nightmare, Trent, there's quite the story happening here at the national park, at Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota.
Bully,
I say. Yeah, he loved to say bully. What a weird guy. But I think we all agree, kind of a strange guy.
Yeah.
Headline: Wall Street Journal: National Park soap opera faces cancellation of its equine stars. Is that how you say that? Equine?
I think so, yeah.
Equine. Government might remove wild horses, riling fans who follow drama of the herd.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is Medora, North Dakota. Chris, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm just going to say K-Man, because it's just the letter K followed by man. K-Man?
K-Man.
Chris Kamen used a long lens camera to scour sprawling grasslands tucked among snow-dusted buttes in Theodore, I don't know what's going on, Roosevelt National Park.
I haven't understood a single word so far.
Me neither. It's very prosy.
Yeah.
For signs of what she calls her family. She was most excited to spot Flax, who's been hard to find lately.
Oh.
Now, Flax is a horse, you might have guessed.
Sure.
In the last 2 years, Flax has sired 3 offspring, kicked 2 sons out of his band, picked up 2 mares and lost a mare, along with their 2 daughters and his traditional grazing grounds to a bachelor stallion named Cagney.
Is it?
It's kind of hard to follow all of the drama of that.
It's a soap opera.
But the headline is drama.
Yeah. Now, is a group of horses called a band? Is that what it's?
I would, yeah.
I gather.
Because there's the. Have you ever heard of a band of horses? I believe that's a band.
That is a band, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't believe. Yeah, it must be a band because it's not a school. It's certainly not a. What else?
It's not a murder.
It's not a murder. Where do they come up with that murder?
Yeah.
There's a murder. There's band. There's school. There's pack. You
Yeah.
think it would be pack, but I guess not.
Yeah,
That's more for
band of horses. Now the band name makes sense. I thought it was just
I thought the band was about them being a band.
yeah, but now it makes sense.
But I noticed that when all the instruments were played by people and not horses, I thought that can't be right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, now the show is facing the threat of cancellation, Trent. National Park Service officials are in the final stages of a review that could lead to the reduction or elimination of the park's equine population to restore the prairie ecosystem. Public comments are galloping overwhelmingly towards keeping they always do this. Keeping the horses, which could be descendants of legendary Chief Sitting Bull's war ponies.
Whoa, that's cool.
Right, why would you get rid of these? K-Man and other advocates argue that the wild horses roamed the Badlands when Roosevelt fell in love with its rugged terrain as a rancher and hunter, and the Badland bully, and deserve to be preserved. Quote, those wild horses are part of our culture, said Mike Leffer, majority leader of North Dakota House of Representatives.
Sure.
A resolution calling on the Park Service to keep the horses in the park passed the legislature unanimously without a single nay.
Oh, that's pretty good one.
Earlier this year.
So what do they want to they want to send these motherfuckers to the glue factory?
Pretty much, because here's the deal. Horses are not indigenous really to North America.
Sure.
They came over from the Europeans 500, 600 years
right.
ago. And they have this prairie ecosystem, but it's a bunch of bullshit no one cares about. Bugs and fucking plants and shit.
Fuck off. I don't need another fucking bug. I couldn't, if I never saw another bug in my life, I'd be more than happy.
That's what all the people are trying to tell them.
There's no bug soap opera.
And they go, well, this is a prairie we're trying to preserve. And everyone goes, fuck off. Like, okay.
Yeah. I want to see wild horses like the Rolling Stones wrote about.
Well, there really is just a love for these animals. Yeah. And I get that.
People love horses.
And I get that. And that's a quote from Angie Richmond, the park's superintendent, who stressed the final decision is yet to be made and public input would be considered. The purpose and the need of this was to realign our management actions to preserve the native ecosystem and the native species within the park. Yeah, bullshit. Nick Frey, another asshole. An associate extension professor of wildlife biology at Utah State University said an ancestor of the horse disappeared from North America about 10,000 years ago, and then horses went through 6,000 years of domestication and selective breeding before being reintroduced to North America by Europeans. Scientifically, they didn't evolve on this continent. They don't have any predators, really, that can keep the population in check. How about the superintendents and their guns? How about, is that a natural? Can't we keep them in check?
I guess so. You'd think so.
And they age differently than other ungulates, so they do not act as... So they do act as an invasive species because the plants have not evolved with them. She said, the issue of feral horses is increasingly pressing in the West, where the long-term drought means they are competing with native species. Richmond acknowledges there is also little evidence that horses are doing much damage in North Dakota.
What can they possibly do?
They're just running around, having a great time being majestic.
They're running around. They're siring young bucks.
Well, here's what a local
all they
says.
do is eat grass and
have a good time, and take a dump.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but a dump helps things grow. I'm no scientist.
Yeah.
But the last time I
fucking smoking cigarettes and tossing them on the ground and shit.
Yeah, they're not having benders.
Yeah.
Well, here's what a local said. We care about the park. It's our heritage,
sure.
said Wally Owen, 75, who ran a now closed concession where visitors can rent riding horses. inside the park. Quote, if they have evidence to show that the horses are doing damage, we'll go out and shoot them ourselves. Okay.
All right, sure.
People have kind of extreme opinions on this. And then they just go on to talk about how much people love the horses. So
yeah.
I say
keep the horses.
Keep the horses.
Yeah, that's what
Why
I
would you get
say.
rid of them? Fuck the bugs.
Fuck the bugs and fuck. You know what? Fuck the grass too. Who gives a flying fuck? Let the people watch the fucking horse soap opera.
Yeah, how about they trample around in a pile of mud? To hell with
that
the grass.
would be cool to watch.
Mud horse?
Yeah, mud horse. What
I
about
would watch
a war horse? Anyway, well, this is from the Wall Street Journal. This is the headline. New Mexico. New Mexico test high school wastewater to gauge youth opioid use.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all right. To get a better handle on its youth drug use, New Mexico health officials are looking in school sewers.
That's insane.
Using a technique that became popular nationally to spot COVID-19 outbreaks. New Mexico appears to be the first state to test wastewater at public high schools for a range of opioids and stimulants.
I mean,
initial data for more than 36 high schools, mostly in and around Albuquerque, included what school leaders and state officials called a surprise: cocaine use in nearly 82% of campus communities.
wow. That's
So
a lot
the
for high
kids-
schools?
Yeah, the kids are
More of a college drug, really.
The kids are partying.
Well, New Mexico
New Mexico
State's like that in Arizona. In the Southwest, they really like to get fucked up.
Oh, they have a lot of fun.
They like to tie one on.
Yeah. Quote, it merits a conversation from parents to kids, like right away, tonight at dinner, said James Kinney, New Mexico's Environment Secretary. By the way, Environment Secretary, it's not your job. Fuck off. It's
Yeah.
not your job to care about the drugs.
Also, honey, we sampled the sewers under the high school. Are you doing cocaine?
But yeah, that's not. It doesn't mean every kid's doing cocaine. Just a few. And
Well,
and
you know what
gets
it
in
also
their
might
shit.
mean? They're not really ruling out. Are they ruling out the teachers here?
Could be the teachers too. It's a tough job teaching.
If I'm having a fucking brutal morning after post cocaine dump, I'm sweating bullets. I'm taking a post cocaine shit,
Right.
flushing it down, and then they go, "These kids got a problem." I go, "Yeah, I know."
they ain't the only one.
yeah.
Got to teach the fucking core 40. And now, quote, this is a continuation of the quote. And we now have to ask ourselves the question: are the intervention programs happening in communities effective? The answer, probably not. If it's an 82% of
82 is crazy.
that's very
Well,
high.
82% of what
of the campus
of the shit is laced in
communities.
cocaine. Of all the communities have some trace level.
Yeah, but it could just be one guy going
That's
around.
the thing. There's
shitting-
probably one guy doing cocaine in every high school.
Yeah.
82 is not that
But
crazy.
now we're no scientists, and we never claim to be. But it could. I think if it's just one guy, it probably may not show up in the shit. It's probably multiple people.
Maybe there's one guy going high school to high school and taking a shit, doing cocaine, driving around.
The bus driver. Fentanyl.
Yeah. Cocaine does make you shit a lot.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, because a lot of it's laced with like,
Baby laxative.
yeah. So the vast majority of it is, I think. So people are always taking a shit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been a little clogged up. Maybe I should get into it.
There you go.
Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid that has led to a surge in overdoses nationwide. We're all familiar with fentanyl. And its metabolite appeared at 9 of the 38 New Mexico schools. None showed a heroin presence. So step your game up, heroin.
Heroin, come on.
Yeah, you're
We
slacking.
expect a little more from you. In a place like New Mexico,
Yeah. Many schools
the
detected...
crystal meth maybe, right?
Oh, crystal meth. Well, I believe that was where Breaking Bad was located.
Bit of a high school teacher himself.
He was a bit of a high school teacher.
Yeah.
Many schools detected opioids that can be both legally prescribed and abused, like oxycodone, hydrocodone, and codeine. More than half of schools detected methamphetamines, but it is impossible to distinguish between legal use like ADHD prescriptions and illegal drugs.
Yeah. Everyone's on Adderall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a solution. Instead of sitting your kid down at the dinner table, maybe stop prescribing everybody Adderall in the whole country.
Yeah.
Or put some fucking mandates on our phone usage to stop us from giving ourselves ADHD every day.
Yeah, something. Yeah. I agree. It's not.
I need a drill sergeant to come in here and take my phone out of my hand and make me do push-ups or something.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
It stinks. It's not good. It makes you angry, violently angry. At least it does to me.
It's our generation's lead.
It really is. Yeah. And we're gonna look back and think, what the fuck were we thinking? Drug testing of wastewater, which captures everything flushed down toilets, has been popular in Europe and Australia for decades, but much slower to catch on in the U.S., said Bo Kilmer, co-director of the RAND Drug Policy Research Center. Privacy concerns were one holdup in the U.S. Those in the industry say, but officials have made clear there is no way to tie results back to individuals.
So what's the point of it?
It's just to see what's going on. But isn't that crazy that people think they're testing wastewater and then somebody's like, they're testing this shit and they go, this shit belongs to fucking James McCaffrey, one of the richest man in town, Albuquerque.
We tested your shit. You're on cocaine.
Yeah. So you got some explaining.
That seems like an infringement upon our rights, to be honest. For someone to test my shit.
Yeah.
Also, if they did want to find out who's shitting what, all you have to do is instead of letting everybody crap into the same toilets, you get every kid a different toilet. You don't flush them till the day's over. You go in, you take a sample of everybody's.
Yeah.
Or you just do one day a year, random, you come in, and it's not a drug test.
Yeah.
But you take a dump.
You take a shit.
And they test it for drugs.
I like the individual toilet.
Why can't they just do a random drug test one day if they wanted to?
Yeah. Well, I think it's not to
incriminate anybody.
It's not to incriminate it, just to
know what's going on.
It's just a scientific study. The scientists are curious. They want to.
They love looking at shit. Those guys.
They do love looking at shit.
You find out a lot.
Yeah.
You can really find out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the best place to figure out who done it and what happened yesterday. If you want to figure out what happened yesterday, look at the shit. Take a look at the dumps. Well, yeah, I don't know. That teeters on, borderline.
It raises concerns.
Concerns. It teeters on espionage, in my opinion. And speaking of espionage, Trent, things are not going well for the United States when it comes to spying on our greatest global adversary,
China.
China. It's from the Wall Street Journal.
Sure.
U.S. struggles to spy on China, its leading espionage priority. Washington.
Dateline.
Beijing spy catchers all but blinded the U.S. and China a decade ago when they systematically rounded up a network of Chinese agents working for the CIA. As many as 24 assets providing information to the U.S. were executed or imprisoned, among them high-ranking Chinese officials. The CIA is still struggling to rebuild its human espionage capabilities in China, the agency's top intelligence target, according to interviews with current and former U.S. officials. The gaps leave the U.S. with limited understanding of secret deliberations among Chinese leader Xi Jinping and his inner circle on key security issues such as Taiwan and other topics, the official says. Quote, "We have no real insight into leadership plans and intentions in China at all," said a former senior intelligence official.
Now, do you believe that, or is this just reverse psychology?
Now, reverse psychology, I've heard, is one of the more effective forms of psychology. Take everything you know about psychology and reverse that.
Yeah, out of all the things that are reversed, that's probably in the top 10. Reverse psychology, reverse.
A lot of other things you don't want to.
Cowgirl.
Reverse cowgirl's good. That might even be better.
That might be better, actually.
Yeah.
That might be number one.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology might be number 2.
Reverse psychology. And then probably the reverse turn or the U-turn, as it were.
Yeah, those would be my top 3.
Yeah, I can't even think of another reverse out there.
We'll reverse an Uno.
Oh, sure. Yeah. To me, that's like maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, there's also just driving in reverse.
Driving in reverse. That's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah, it is fun. And you know what?
These
yes, but I don't like these bullshit cameras in cars now where they show you what's behind you. I like to put my hand over the passenger side and look over and fucking gun it in reverse and steer it. I can't even see the steering wheel. It's a blast.
Yeah, I like to put my arm around a lady as I fucking back up.
Oh yeah, she gets drenched.
Yeah, she gets sopping wet.
Oh, if you parallel a car looking behind you with your arm around a girl,
perfect the first time, and then you go.
I would be shocked to find out that doesn't make most women wet. Shocked.
I'd be shocked if she doesn't blow you right there in the car.
So anyway, back to China. Oh my God. Strengthening the human spy network. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. On China is one goal of a titanic but mostly secret shift at the CIA and its sister U.S. spy agencies. Why are you putting it in the newspaper then? Yeah. This is what I don't understand about this whole article. Stupid, It comes in.
That's why I think it's all for naught. I think it's all trick. I think they know the Chinese are reading the Wall Street Journal and they're like, oh well, I guess it's fine.
Yeah. It comes as a larger transformation of the U.S. security policy away from fighting insurgencies around the world and toward preparing for a possible Great War conflict with China and Russia. That's good. But this whole thing is very weird that they would put any of this in the newspaper.
Yeah.
The U.S. government has never publicly acknowledged the loss of its Chinese agents between 2010 and 2012.
Wow.
Today, U.S. spy satellites closely monitors China's military deployments and modernization plans, while cyber and eavesdropping tools scoop up vast swaths of Chinese communications. Beyond that, U.S. knowledge of these plans comes mostly from inference, from parsing his frequent public statements. So most of the CIA is watching his speeches and going,
Oh, okay.
What's he getting at? If only we had a guy over there. But they put a bullet in their head the second they get over there.
That's wild that they shot all the secret agents we had over there.
Well, the reason that they're so good at weeding us out is China is much tougher. It's a much tougher intelligence target than it was a decade ago when the agents were lost.
Yeah.
X's security-first state employs Orwellian surveillance systems that vastly complicate spy operations inside the country, and U.S. intelligence must track China's progress in fields as disparate as artificial intelligence and synthetic biology. So they have cameras everywhere over there.
Sure.
And they're watching everything.
Yeah.
And especially watching people who work for him.
Wow, yeah, they have ring doorbells up everywhere.
Yeah. A flaw in the CIA's covert communication with its agents exploited by Beijing is the suspected cause of the compromise, former officials say. No shit. The details of what went wrong aren't publicly known, and it is unclear if anyone at the agency was held accountable. Horrendous, a former senior U.S. official said about the losses in China. Quote, and I have doubts about whether there's been much of a recovery since then. Burns, who is someone, I'm trying to remember who Burns is. Burns now holds a weekly meeting. Okay, this is like someone who works for the U.S. government and CIA. Burns now holds, this is crazy that they put this in the newspaper.
All right.
Burns now holds a weekly meeting devoted to China.
Sure.
Gathering top lieutenants in his 7th floor office at the CIA's Langley, Virginia headquarters.
Jesus Christ. At 4 p.m.
At 4 p.m. The door to the lobby is often unlocked. Why would you write that in there?
That's wild.
That's insane.
Yeah.
They're going to bug the shit out of the place.
Yeah, that's crazy. They probably, the Chinese probably have spies over here, too.
Yeah, I mean, Christoph's probably a spy, probably.
He's in his room over there.
He's always in his room. What's he doing? He's spying.
That awful round eye.
China said in August it has arrested 2 Chinese nationals spying for the CIA, both recruited outside of China. If accurate, it illustrates both the continued U.S. spying push and China's aggressive counter-espionage campaign. Burns, at a July security forum in Aspen, Colorado, on the 8th floor, said the CIA is recruiting well-placed Chinese officials and business people. Again, why would you say that?
Yeah. This is idiotic.
There are potential openings in China, too, intelligence officials say, in the growing disaffection with Xi's autocratic leadership and creaky economy. They're a hard target, said one of the intelligence officials, but not an impossible one.
Maybe I'll apply.
Maybe you'll apply.
Yeah,
you'll want to pretend to be a businessman. And you'll want to go right over here to meet with Meet with them on the 7th floor.
Well, I know when they meet, so I'll just go over there and knock on the door, hand in my application.
Hold up the article. Read all about it.
I would like to be one of your spies.
Trent Mabry here. So
Wow.
yeah, we don't know what's going on over there.
That's wild.
But we're watching his speeches and we're, trying to parse the words.
We're trying to decipher what he says in his speeches.
Yeah, like it's 1850.
Wow. Well, Joe, did you get a fun gift for Christmas this year? Did you have a favorite gift you got?
Well, my mom got me all those plaid shirts. I threw over my shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what? My brother gave me a great book about maps that I've really triggered my tism.
Wow.
And I had a great time looking through that. My brother Tom, one of the best gift givers of all time.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It always comes as a shock to everybody every year. He outdoes himself and everyone else every year.
I love that.
He raises the bar about 25% for himself every year.
Wow. Do you think he'll ever peak?
This year was pretty good.
Yeah.
Although he didn't get our niece anything.
Well, your niece is very
She's only
young.
one. Yeah, so she doesn't know what's going on.
Well, what has she done to deserve something?
Been cute.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good
the
reason.
cutest pumpkin patch in the world.
Well,
I got her a trike.
you got her a trike? Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, she was playing with it. It was nice. She was like, she kind of scoots around in it.
Well, did anybody get a human dog bed?
No. Can't say they did.
Well, apparently that was a popular item this year. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Headline: Let sleeping dogs and humans lie.
Jesus. They love to be cute, don't they?
Yeah. To make their homes as cozy as possible, people are taking inspiration from their lazy pets. Danielle Terciano has worked from home for years, often on the couch. God. A few weeks ago, she shifted to an even cushier workspace, a human dog bed.
Just put her down already. If you want to be a dog, then let's put her down.
I mean, imagine working from home. You lay down, you curl up in a human
Working
dog.
on a couch from home is already a night. I mean, how bad is your back?
Yeah.
You're going to lay down on a couch and with a laptop on your stomach? Good Lord, there's no way to live. There's no way to live.
No. But even somehow...
We're not meant to be even sitting during the day.
No.
So much as laying down on a dog bed, for Christ's sake.
No, they say you should stand up.
They say you should stand up and do jumping jacks.
Yeah.
While a lady screams at you.
It's been very comfortable and very productive, oddly enough, says Terciano, a 39-year-old Los Angeles-based public relations and marketing consultant.
Oh, she has a bullshit
job.
Yeah, I bet it's nice.
Yeah,
you fucking got the
it's
wire
nice
on
to
in the
lay a
background.
fucking dog bed, drink out of a fucking bowl.
This lady sounds like a fucking dog.
It's exactly what it sounds like. A huge padded oval that looks like a plush life raft.
Also, who's got the real estate for that? I mean, that's a huge area of space to just...
Yeah, it's 6 feet long, it says. It sits on the floor, and it's big enough for people to lie in for naps or reading.
These people are animals.
A startup called Pluffle, Pluffl, started shipping what it calls the world's first dog bed for humans.
Jesus.
Last December. Many cheaper dupes have cropped up on Amazon and elsewhere. Now, how much do you think this 6 foot long human dog bed costs?
I wouldn't pay a fucking cent for it, but I bet it costs $1,800.
It costs $499.
Yeah.
It topped many a wish list. Google's annual Holiday 100 Roundup listed human dog beds alongside Stanley water bottles and smart TVs. Interest in the cozy bed spiked 1,650% last year, Google said. I never heard of it.
You could just say that it increased by 16-fold.
Now the Stanley Cup. You've heard, not the Stanley Cup.
I've heard of the Stanley Cup.
Not the.
Now that would be a sick gift.
That would be if you got
Stanley Cup.
If you got the Stanley Cup, that would be very cool.
Yeah, it'd be epic.
But it's not related to the National Hockey League.
Okay.
It's a brand called Stanley. They make cups. Water bottles.
It's like the opposite of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Now, let me pull it up. We have a comment that applies to this, sort of.
Oh.
It's sort of a follow-up to a previous article that we read a few weeks ago, I believe on our Christmas episode.
Right.
And I'll pull it up. It's from a loyal listener, and I wanted to give her a shout-out and read her comment on the air, because it kind of applies to this. This is her YouTube name is Hilarious10.
Hilarious10.
Hey, fellas, long-time listener, first-time commenting.
That's great.
From what I've witnessed online about the little, this is the article about the girls making the PowerPoints for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
It's from what I've witnessed online about the little girl's Christmas list. The issue isn't that they are creating PowerPoint presentations, but rather that a 10-year-old girl is asking for an $80 anti-aging eye cream and other expensive skincare products for Christmas rather than a toy or game to play with.
Oh.
There's a TikTok trend of little girls showing their Christmas hauls and videos, and there's just something deeply sad about an elementary school age girl being really excited about getting a red light anti-wrinkle mask for Christmas.
Couldn't agree more.
Or a giant cup that mostly nurses drink out of. But hey, if I've learned anything from this show, it's that the kids are not all right.
Yeah, that's true.
So thank you to Hilarious10 for leaving the comment. We thank you for listening to the podcast. It's very nice. And
mostly nurses drink out.
Yeah,
that's
have you seen those? I've seen those cups after she mentioned that.
No, but I mean, I think I know
what. Like a big giant.
It's a giant fucking mug, right?
Yeah.
Something about nurses and elementary school teachers must have at all times a 44-ounce to 64-ounce cup of a giant mug.
Yeah.
Every teacher in my grade school had a giant fucking Quick Trip 64-ounce thing with a handle that they would be filled up to the brim with Diet Coke. I mean, it must have been like, it would be like if you got a 12-pack and opened 12 cans and poured them all in there and fill it up.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild.
It was crazy. They guzzled them down. And they told me to shut the fuck up. They'd always have a headache. I wonder why.
They're probably on coke. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess the kid, that is a sad state of affairs that the 8-year-old girls are asking for anti-wrinkle
that was the
cream.
issue with that. I just read it as PowerPoints.
Yeah. So if it's kind of a correction.
Yeah.
If you have any corrections, write in. We'll read them on the air.
That's
we
right.
want to be accurate on this podcast. No fake news here.
Right. Not only do we have a segment on this podcast about corrections we find from the Wall Street Journal called Wall Street Whoopsies, but we also have our own
echo chamber errors.
Echo chamber errors. So please let us know should we ever say anything wrong. Luckily, that's been the only thing we've ever said wrong on this podcast.
100%.
Except for one
you can take that to the bank.
Yeah, except for that one time where I kind of suggested that the guy should shoot himself. But other than that, but I redacted that statement.
We did immediately redact that.
Immediate redaction. Yeah. So
Pluffle is quickly taking on a Snuggie-like cult stature. It comes in multiple colors, weighs 25 pounds, is machine washable, and includes straps for easy transport. It's often on sale. So it doesn't always cost $499.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be permanently on sale. Although it is the #1 Christmas list gift.
Michael's, well, of course, we all know the Snuggie is still flying off the shelves every year, too.
Is it?
No.
Yeah, okay, it's not.
Michael Steer, a 41-year-old founder of a mortgage compliance company, was gifted a Pluffle in 2022. It took him a few weeks to open it as he was thinking, quote, what am I going to do with a human dog bed? Now the Pluffle is set up in his home office in Dallas. He says he sits in it most days, meditating for about 10 to 20 minutes, and then taking a 20 to 30-minute nap before finishing up the workday.
What time is he taking outside?
Doesn't mention that when he's taking outside.
Does it have any mention of how many accidents he has?
No, they do say they put newspaper down for him in his home office.
God, if somebody ever gives me a Pluffle, I mean, I think I would terminate the friendship. I don't know what I would do with that. My biggest fear, though, would be that I would end up like Michael or whatever, and then I'd end up laying in a fucking Pluffle for my work from home job.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you start meditating for 10 minutes and then taking a 30-minute nap and then ending your workday.
Yeah, because you know what you need after laying on a dog bed is meditation and a nap. God forbid you stand up. God forbid you get off the ground at all. What are you walking around on all fours?
Yeah, he scoots around on his ass like a dog.
Yeah. He wipes he chases the mailman. Oh, thanks for the pluffle. I love it.
Quote, it just makes for a really good environment where I'm relaxed and at peace. Because we shouldn't be satisfied into a relaxed 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Constant relaxation.
Constant relaxation. Can't backfire at all. Anita Hereford Crump was always a little jealous of her 8-year-old Yorkie Bentley when he got to lounge in his dog bed. So when the 48-year-old IT senior manager in San Antonio, bullshit job, came across Pluffle's Kickstarter page last winter, she decided to order.
It's a Kickstarter.
She decided to order 2. She considers it even more comfortable than her couch, as do her husband and daughter. Someone is usually lounging in a Pluffle, but there's one rule: Bentley, the dog, isn't allowed on it.
No, Bentley.
Get the fuck out of here. You get your own shitty dog bed.
Bentley, get out of the Pluffle.
It's not yours.
This is for me and my daughter.
This is a human dog bed. What don't you get about that?
If I have a daughter and my wife says, I want to get a Pluffle, I go, no.
Yeah.
I don't need my daughter to look at her mom sitting in a dog bed.
I go, I'm taking the kid. We're going to a hotel.
I'm taking the kid. You're going to stay at your sister's for a while. So Bentley's not allowed in the Pluffle.
Quote, he knows better, but he will try to sneak a way in every now and then. So, sorry, Bentley. You're shit out of luck, you dumb bitch. Son, Simon Tung originally sent a Pluffle link to his wife as a joke. That's how it starts.
Yeah, it always starts as a joke. Yeah.
And then she told him it looked really comfortable. One problem: their apartment was too small for it. Now, this is insane. This is insane. Okay. The next paragraph, it's one of the craziest things I think we've ever read on the...
Wow.
The 42-year-old co-founder of a New York bakery bought one in July and shipped it to his in-laws' home. Now, when they visit, he takes a nap in it.
Send it to the in-laws.
Quote, they market it as the human dog bed, but I'm like, yo... Dogs live a good life. Says Tung. So this guy, his apartment, he runs a shitty bakery somewhere in New York. He can't afford a big apartment to fit his human-sized dog bed. So he goes, you know what? Why don't we ship it to the in-laws so they can deal with this? 6-foot dog bed. And then when we visit every other weekend, I'll go and take a nap in it.
People have historically complained about their in-laws throughout all time.
Yeah.
Imagine if your in-law mailed a dog bed and would come over and sleep in it. I would put him down. Yeah,
it's insane.
My thing is, and I felt the same way about when girls would use the dog face filter on Tinder and stuff. If you want to be a dog, I'm going to treat you like a dog.
God, we are hell-bent. We are hell-bent on losing all our female listeners.
I know. This has been a bad
No, but every comment, that was a lady that commented. Every comment I get is from a lady that listens. But the numbers in the statistic don't reflect that at all.
Yeah, who knows?
A few weeks ago, Sheridan Garrett received a massive package. It turned out to be a human dog bed mailed to her parents' home by accident. It isn't a Pluffle, but one of the cheaper knockoffs. Garrett isn't complaining about the shipping snafu, even if it might have been a misorder from a former significant other she suspects. So one of her ex-boyfriends accidentally ordered this dog
for
bed
his current girlfriend.
And
sent it to her.
Yeah. But she's keeping it.
Baby, did you get the Pluffle? No, I didn't. It never came.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
I sent it to baby's address. My phone is a sweet baby's address.
When the rest of her family visits, she often sits in the human dog bed with her 2 medium-sized dogs, Dino and Shadow, and any other dogs her family members bring with them. It's
How
one of those
embarrassing. It's just
gifts.
embarrassing.
Quite, it's one of those gifts where it's kind of a gag gift, but you're going to get a lot of use out of it too, says the 27-year-old co-founder of a mental health startup. Bullshit job. Once you lay in it once you lay in it once, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use this way more than I thought.
My thing is just it blows out any living room. Now it looks like shit because you have a massive dog bed in the middle of it.
Get rid of the couch.
Where do you put it? Where on earth do you put it?
bed.
Even if you have a lot of room in a big house, your whole interior design scheme now has a light purple plush dog bed that's 6 feet by 6 feet.
Yeah. You know what they should do? You know those like beds that you, I believe they're called like stowaway or whatever. You hide them in the wall.
You fold them down.
Fold them up in the wall. They should do that for the human dog bed. You fucking wall.
I have a better idea. They could take the human dog bed and put it on the curb where it belongs. How would that be for an idea?
That's a good idea too.
No, it does sound. I will say, like I would try it for sure. I wouldn't. No, I would never order one because I wouldn't want to derail my life.
Yeah,
I would maybe order one to like I don't know, like my in-laws' house or something like that, and then maybe go over there and then be like, "Yo,
yo, dogs have a good life, yo."
He's like, "Yeah, thanks, Jerry. Yeah, glad you're enjoying yourself."
Any information on that raise?
Well, the in our nation's capital, Trent, they are giving anything but dog beds to another local species.
A lot of things happening in our nation's capital.
A lot of things they can't get a grip on the espionage in China, but they've had a firm grip on the deer problem there for a while.
Wow.
This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Sure.
Headline: The secret government mission in D.C. taking out deer. U.S. deploys sharpshooters in night operations in campaign against Bambi.
Good God.
Washington, D.C. For more than a decade, going back to the Obama administration, the U.S. government has been waging a secretive campaign against restive local insurgents, deploying a team of highly trained specialists with license to kill. The location, a marquee park in the U.S. Capitol. The target, white-tailed deer. The rapidly multiplying deer.
I like this is written like a James Bond.
Yeah, it is.
The target, white-tailed deer. This message will self-destruct.
It's like an intro to the Twilight Zone or something. The rapidly multiplying deer are gobbling up the native vegetation in Rock Creek Park, a one-time stomping ground for our friend Teddy Roosevelt that spans much of the city's northwest. For U.S. Department of Agriculture sharpshooters who strike at night using silenced weapons, the mission is to control population and to protect young plants from too many hungry deer. Can everyone just fucking relax on the plant? Who gives a shit?
Yeah. It is weird. I never
We'll grow back.
Right. I never understood that.
I guess if you got a garden, you don't want your carrots to go to the deer.
Yeah.
You got to put a silenced bullet in their head.
Yeah, but if you have a garden, but that's not what they're doing. They're not really protecting the family garden.
No, it's like parks and stuff. But like
Fuck off. Parks are overrated.
Yeah, let the horses go. Let the deer go.
Yeah,
they're majestic.
They are majestic animals. Deer. You ever seen a deer just walk around?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
breathtaking.
breathtaking.
I saw one. I was at my grandma's house looking at the window. They're about 20 feet away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
It's breathtaking. Yeah.
Until they go flying into your car on the highway at night.
Yeah. When I lived in the country, we used to see a lot of deer, and I would go outside, and if you get too close, they'll kind of stomp to ward you away. It never stopped me. I went up and I got Lyme disease from it.
Oh, wow.
No. I never got too close, but they are a beautiful animal. I never understood.
They're much bigger than you think
they are much bigger, and I never understood the human desire to put a fucking bullet in its brain.
What? Well, it's a huge desire. People really love it.
They do love it.
Yeah.
It's some people's whole identity.
Yeah, but you know what? What's interesting is it's their whole identity. It never seems to be going well. They never seem to be winning against the deer.
Yeah.
And Trent, you might be surprised to find that's the case here too.
Oh no!
Like so many U.S. interventions overseas, the effort has had mixed results.
Jeez.
Local reaction is less than fawning, while the effect of the culling program on vegetation is still subject to study.
See, that's the thing is
Quote,
they say all this, and then they're like, yeah, we're not even sure they really affect anything.
Quote, we don't know yet, end quote, if it's working, said Nick Bartolomeo, the Parks Resources Lands and Planning Manager. It's been over a decade. You don't know yet. You've been using silencers on rifles and going to the park and assassinating deer at night.
It sounds like they just want to kill deer. It's just something they want to do.
It would be fun. Then you're going to go hunting you got the fucking Lincoln Monument in the background, and you're like in our nation. It would feel like a Call of Duty level where you get to play in D.C. and you're just going around with I think it's just fun for these guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. They don't know if it's working. There is a response, but not enough to make a statistical difference.
Jesus Christ. So stupid. It's idiotic.
The gunman benefited from working in the heart of America's military-industrial complex. Some equipment, including night vision scopes, came from Quantico, where Marines train. One particularly talented marksman was eventually recruited by the CIA, according to Hodnet. So this guy's out there fucking pop, 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 one and done. Every deer. CIA is looking out the window at night going, Johnson, who is that guy? I think he's got the goods.
We should send him to China.
Agent Simeon's sure he's been on our deer program for 3 months now. They call he kills every deer he sees. Hard to say if it makes a difference.
I want to see him in my office.
Yeah, send that man to China. He immediately just gets his head blown off. Kind of tough.
I guess the deer are a little different.
Well, do people like it in D.C., Trent? Absolutely not. Carol Grunwald, who lives near Rock Creek Park, is horrified by roaming federal agents assassinating deer.
Jesus Christ. There's fucking deer brains.
She's looking out the window at night, you're looking into like the Watergate break-in. There's guys walking around with...
That would be scary.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this? In the program's first few years... Grunwald and other concerned neighbors would circle at night searching for signs of the operations. They staged protests nearby, holding signs such as "Don't kill our deer." When MPS asked for public comment on its plans to shoot deer in other Washington parks, some suggested the U.S. bring back wolves and other deer eaters. What could go wrong?
You just overrun my wolves. Then it's like a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, well, you might be asking yourself, what do they do with these deer?
Yeah, what do they? I am asking myself. What do they do with these deer?
Once deer are downed, the carcasses are tested for disease and then butchered into cuts of venison. MPS donates the meat to DC Central Kitchen, which cooks it into meals and are distributed to community service organizations. The group has received 21,000 pounds of deer meat since 2013, including most recent donation 3,000 pounds. We find it works well in the stew type applications to mask the gamey taste a little bit for folks. So, don't like it? Fucking eat it.
Sorry, you get what you get. The deer venison sucks.
It's awful.
It's horrible.
So at night, if you're living in DC, you see people out in the park with signs sniping deer. And then you go down to the local food shelter, and then they go, venison stew. Eat up. Sucks cock, by the way.
It's pretty gamey, but we try to mask that, so. Hope that helps.
Yeah.
Move on.
He didn't shut up. By the way, it's not working.
Yeah, by the way, the plants are still fucked.
The whole program doesn't really work. Yeah.
So you eat the shitty stew.
We would put more oregano in the stew, but the deer is still eating the oregano. It's a mess.
Wow, we're thinking about using wolves.
What do you see what we're doing in Ukraine? Yeah.
Wow.
So, wow.
Kind of a fascinating. The animals. People seem to have a hatred of animals in this episode. They don't like wild horses. They don't like deer.
But I think the people are
the government
love the animals. The government hates the animals.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The government,
right?
Which is made of people, not.
I didn't even get into in the horse thing.
Yeah,
it supports the entire town's economy. I didn't even mention that. Like the people come in to see the horses, and they get hotels there and stuff, and and it's like horse. People are crazy about horses.
Equestrians.
It's one of the few places you can see wild horses in our country.
Yeah,
and
if
they get the whole town will literally collapse.
Yeah,
and they go, well, but the insects.
Yeah, but the stink bug.
Also, I don't. What's gonna happen? I mean, the insects. Every time I've seen a horse up close, it's got a fucking fly on its eyeball. It's got.
Yeah,
it's got 16 flies around its cow pie, and it's got like 3 on its cock. It's like covered in flies and maggots. Yeah, it's right on its eye.
Yeah.
If I had a finger to swipe it off, it would, but it just has
to sit there and let fucking insects fly around it, lay eggs.
I say they remove the insects.
Yeah, get rid of the insects. What do insects do?
I think they actually keep the entire ecosystem together.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess you're right.
They say that, but I'm like, how?
Yeah, they don't know.
They pollinate something.
Yeah, the statistics, they just aren't there. We
they
don't
have
know.
to come in a flower or something. Yeah,
Well, the bees. I love the bees.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everybody loves the bees.
I'm not talking about it's so
bees.
sad to see him go. So sad to see him go. I got stung by a bee this year.
Really?
When
I've
I was
never
in,
been stung.
I was in Connecticut. I haven't since I was 5. I thought it only happened to 5-year-olds.
Yeah, you
I got stung by a bee in my finger, and I let him die. Let them all die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be one of the only adults ever to be stung by a bee.
I am. Yeah. I'm the only
Something to be proud of.
adult to be stung by a bee, but I'm not the only adult to be sleeping in a fucking dog bed. I'll tell you that right now. But that has been this episode of Echo Chamber Podcast. Please tell your friends about us. If you like us,
Yeah.
who is our YouTube commenter?
Hilarious Tim.
Hilarious 10. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Share it. Thank you for commenting.
Yeah.
And like and subscribe and all that good shit. We are going to keep these puppies coming this year, and we're going to try to up the set around here and make things nice and sharp.
Couldn't agree more. I couldn't have said it better myself. So I think that just about wraps it up for this episode of Echo Chamber.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It was such a good episode to right now.
Oh, no.
Oh, we'll have to restart.
No, we have to record the whole thing. No, Echo Chamber Podcast with Joe and Trent. I, of course, am Trent.
And I naturally would be Joe. Thank you for listening. And hey, Christoph, what's up, man? And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.